Hi, everyone. My name is Tatum Strieter, and I'm coming to you live from Michigan. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Before we jump into our readings and our topic for the night, I just want to remind everyone that this coming Monday, the 21st, is a full moon, our first full moon of this month, obviously, and of the year. But even more important than that, all of our planets are currently going direct. So what does that mean as far as this full moon goes? That means that essentially everything is magnified. So whatever intentions you're putting out or whatever you're trying to release, it's going. So make sure you really set it out there for Monday. I want to jump right in. We have a lot to cover tonight. We're talking about spirit guides. I put a poll on my Instagram and Facebook, and that's what most people want to talk about. So we're talking about spirit guides. So we're going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to jump into some questions. If I have some time, I'm going to pull some cards for everybody listening. So let's jump right in. Most common question I get is, do we have spirit guides? Of course, we all have spirit guides. That's no question there. How many varies from person to person, and just really what they're here for. So a lot of people say, well, why do we have them? What is the purpose? Obviously, they're trying to guide us, but why? That's a huge thing. Why and how are we able to tap into them? So know that I just had somebody touch me on the back of my head there, so I'm having a feeling that was my grandfather, who's one of my guides. But know that everybody has guides. We can all tap into them. Why they're here is connected to our lessons. So they're also telling me I need to tell you guys a little bit about why they're here is in the timing that they're here. So sometimes we have spirit guides that'll be with us for our entire lives while we're here, and they even come from past lives. Sometimes they're only here for short little segments, and that's all based on the lessons that we're supposed to learn. So essentially you learn your lesson, you kind of graduate on to the next. Or sometimes they stay with you. It just kind of depends. While we're on the topic of all of this, let's talk about how you can better tap into your guides. Everyone can tap into their guides. It's not just if you're intuitive or not. So I'm going to give you some tips to try to help you guys tap into your guides. The very, very first thing that I tell everybody, and some people roll their eyes about this, is meditation. The more you meditate, the more you are able to kind of close your mind down and actually listen to what's being said to you. There's so much that happens in our daily life. We're so busy. There's so much happening that a lot of times we're too much in our head and we're not always listening. So the more you meditate, the more you clear your mind, the more access you have to your guides. I meditate twice a day, once in the morning, once at night, to clear out energy and really balance myself. The next thing, you really have to believe that they're there, that they're looking out for you, and that they're trying to guide you. You have to also believe in the messages that they're sending you, even if it looks different than what you'd imagine. So if you're constantly saying, I want a new job, and it's not coming, and you tap in and your guides are trying to show you to go in a different direction, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe you've outrun your course in that field that you're in or that job that you're in, so they're trying to show you something else. So that's how it might look a little bit different than what you're thinking about. Asking for signs. I know that sounds crazy, but the more you ask for the signs from them, the more they're going to give you. The more you acknowledge the signs that they're giving you, the more you're going to get, okay? So if you're saying, I just want to know that you're there and that you're with me, especially if you're going through a rough time, a lot of people are right now. There's a huge transition. So if you start asking, okay, I want to know that you're here, and all of a sudden you start seeing 4444 or 2222, or you're starting to see feathers or whatnot, you're knowing that your guides are there and they're listening to those signs that you are asking for. Next, favorite, sometimes struggle with this, and it doesn't happen right away, so you need to be patient. Asking your guides to identify themselves. So asking them to show themselves to you in meditation or just in a dream, however they're going to come through that's easily for you to recognize. Asking them to come through, whether you see them, you hear them, you feel them. All of us are different, and how we tap into all of our guides are different. How I tap into my three is very different for each one. So I feel one more than I see one, more than I hear one. That's probably the case for a lot of people, okay? Automatic writing and journaling. So a lot of people get guides coming to them in dreams. Keep a dream journal of what they're trying to show you. A lot of times we forget what we're actually hearing or seeing. So keep a dream journal, especially if they're trying to show you a similar theme over and over again. Also, sitting down, giving yourself like 5 minutes a day just to do some automatic writing. That also helps develop your intuition, which I don't know if you realize that, but it really does help strengthen that intuition muscle. So letting them come through you in that way. And finally, this is one of my favorite ways to do it, using crystals. So crystals are really good for healing. They're also good for meditation. In this case, you really want to open up that third eye. So having a purple crystal, something that's like an amethyst, or even something clear like a clear quartz, putting that up here on your brow and just kind of letting it do its work to help open that third eye. You can also do the Om chant, where you just and really feel it through your nose, will also help open that third eye. Okay, so those are all different ways you can tap in. Not one way is going to work perfectly for you, and what works for you might not work for somebody else. So really just test them all out and see. And sometimes you might see that you have a really good basis with your guides and you're really tapped in, and other times you're not. And the times that I've found that I'm not as tapped in with them are the times that they're wanting me to learn on my own. Okay, so just know that if they're not responding, you need to be patient and really take time and really think about the lessons and the things that you're here working on. Okay, we do have some questions regarding spirit guides. So Tina wanted to know, how do you know if you're talking to a spirit guide or if you're talking to another like spirit or ghost? Well, I would say most people aren't talking to other spirits and ghosts. Maybe sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. Each person is going to connect differently with their spirit guides. So they're going to be able to feel them and they're going to feel different. And then if you're not sure and you're kind of curious, and you can always ask if they are your spirit guide. Of course, people are going to say, well, do they lie? Possibly, but typically your spirit guides are there and they're going to kind of keep you protected from it. But also asking the person that you're talking to if they're from the light. So really going in and showing and asking who they are and asking them to identify themselves. Once you get used to feeling them, you won't have those questions, okay? Lindsay, what is my guide's name? Lindsay, you have two right now. You just got a new one. It's a male. Patrick is what I'm hearing. So you're learning a new lesson right now, and it has something to do with, to me, it feels something to do with your job. So whatever it is you're going through with your job, there's a lesson that's sinking in with that job, and he's here to help you with that. Jen, what are my guides' names and how do I know if they are around? Well, we just gave you all the different ways you can bring them around. Your guides are always around you, whether you feel them or not, they're always there. So just kind of knowing that they're there, and the more you ask them, the more they're going to show you. But guides names 3. You have 2 males and 1 female, at least right now. And like a Sarah or a Samantha is one of them. So really tap in and ask her to show herself to you and show you why she's here. Okay, she's connected with family in some way, shape, or form. Jessica, how will I know if my guides are stepping in to help? Well, they're always here to help. That's their job. They're here to kind of navigate us through those life lessons. And if you've ever noticed, if you're supposed to have a lesson and you don't learn it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually you learn it, right? So that's what they're here to help us with. How do you know if they're stepping in to help? Well, if you ask them to help, they're going to make themselves known to you. So if you're feeling like moving out of a relationship and you're just feeling this incredibly strong push and you don't know why, that's your guides, okay? So ask them to show you in a way that makes sense for you. Sharon, not everything is a sign. That is correct. We've talked about that a number of times. How do I tell what is? So if you ask for a sign and you get a sign, obviously trust in that. That's part of that believing process, believing that you're actually getting that sign. But for you, Sharon, you see a lot of numbers. And I keep hearing that I'm supposed to tell you that your grandmother is a guide for you. So just FYI. So knowing that she's around, and a lot of the numbers are something that is particular with you. But trust, I keep hearing you need to trust in yourself a little bit more because you're doubting yourself with that. Pamela, how do you know who your spirit guides are and if they're different from archangels or guardian angels? So the easiest way to explain this is your guides can be guardian angels, can be archangels, but they don't have to be, okay? So if you're going through a major transition, something major in your life, if you're supposed to step into your authentic self, you may have an archangel as one of your spirit guides. I know I had Archangel Raphael for the longest time, and now he's kind of taken a little bit of a step back. So yes, you can have them, but you don't always. Sometimes they're family, sometimes they're connected to past life, sometimes it's people who don't even know, but they're here and they're connected to that lesson. Kitchell, how are spirit guides appointed to us? So once again, going back to the whole lessons thing, if you believe in reincarnation, which I do, I've seen past lives and I've seen soul contracts for not only myself and other people. As you're signing these soul contracts, you are essentially picking out, I'm going to have these major people in my life. I'm going to go through these major lessons, which is all part of your evolution as a soul. So that's why your guides are appointed to you. Sometimes they're family, sometimes they're not. So it just really depends on what it is. I know I have 2 family members currently, and I did not always have 2 family members, but I do currently and have for about the last 10 years. So it just depends on what you're going through and what you're learning. Sheena, are spirit guides mostly loved ones, or are they connections to past life? Once again, both. It depends on what your lessons are. So if you are someone who is intuitive, but you're not necessarily embracing it in this life, but you had people in the past lives, or even past family members who are intuitive, you may have both of them as someone who's trying to push you more into that direction, push you into more of your authentic self, okay? Julia, how can I best welcome my guides? So Julia, your guides are really around you quite often. I can feel your energy. Every time I was around you, I could always feel it. I can even still feel your energy. I think sometimes for you, it's that trusting part and that doubting part, because they only come to you the way you feel. They only come to you in one form, and that's not true. They're around you more. So really open yourself up, get yourself out of your head, because they are there. Ask them to show you in a different way. Something's connected to numbers and writing, okay? Victoria, I love this message, Victoria. This was definitely one of my favorite ones I got this week. So, a message from your spirit guide, the male spirit guide, around the number 8. So the number 8 is all about transition. It's infinity. And so I think the reason why you got this, at least according to my guides as they're deciphering, is because you are in a major self-transition. You are in a major point in your life where things are completely shifting, almost like the old is falling away and the new is coming forward. So they are trying to kind of show you that and prepare you, because I keep hearing you don't like change unless it's on your own terms, but I'm telling you, you are ready for this and they are supporting you. I have a couple of other just random questions that were given to me that they wanted answered this week. So I'm going to pull some cards for some of these people. Audrey, I love the message you sent me. They're really telling me we need to focus on love. I bought a special deck this week for you, because with all these angel messages that we're talking about, which is really what we're talking about, I always consider my spirit guides as like my little angels on my shoulders. They are telling me we need to focus on love, almost like we're not, whether we're not loving ourselves. Oh, it pulled it out. Okay. Organized for success is this message for you within your relationship. So I don't know if it's that we're not loving ourselves or we're not loving this relationship that we're in. Take a step back. Really look to see if it's serving you. Organize your time. They're also telling me I need to pull one more for you for just overall direction, Audrey. Overall direction. You're feeling a little bit all over the place to me, not just even in relationship, but it feels a little bit all over. Okay. So I don't know if money's tight for you right now, but it kind of feels like it is. Starting to get your savings together, starting to get your budget together. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Putting a plan in place. How is this going to work for you? Okay, that's really important. So make sure you get that and get it moving forward. Brooke, in need of some guidance. Brooke, I'm going to pull 2 cards for you. Brooke, they're telling you kind of the same thing they told Julia. Stay out of your own head. I feel like your head, we're overanalyzing things, okay? So, and they want me to tell you that things aren't as bad as what they appear, at least not on the outside, okay? So how are you taking care of yourself right now, Brooke? Because they're telling me that you need to be focusing. When I see this clean energy food card, it's all about detoxing your body from stress, detoxing from things that we don't need in our life, whether it be food, getting more active and kind of running, doing whatever we need to pump up our energy, because your energy feels a little bit low. And the power of prayer. So prayer, whatever you want to call it, setting intentions, prayer, talking to your spirit guides is one of the main reasons why we're here tonight talking about this. Really talk to them, tap in, because I feel like you need that right now. So work on some of those techniques that we talked about and really allow them to kind of come in. Let's see, Linda. You feel like something is shifting, yeah? A lot of things are shifting this year, Linda, a lot, especially for you. A lot of people are having this. I kind of feel like you're stepping into your own power. So let's pull a card for you, Linda. Okay, so as you're doing your work, do some charitable work. So for you, really giving back, I think that's a huge thing. They're telling me that as the old kind of shifts away from you, it's really wanting you to kind of tap into that giving back. I feel like you're a giving person, but for whatever reason, there's something within your heart chakra that has pulled you back. So as you're transitioning, really give back to everyone else. Yeah, and really focusing on your attracting. Don't chase things that don't serve you. This is a good time, Linda, this full moon, let everything go that doesn't serve you. Because if you start giving more and attracting the things that are more in line for you, things are going to shift even faster. And I know they're already moving pretty fast. All right, we're going to pull some cards for people that are listening. I want to grab some for you guys. Let me see what we got. Ashley, and you asked a question, will I have a child? Yeah. There's a little girl that's around you, just FYI. I feel like you've been having, I don't know if it's hormonal issues or what, but there's a little girl that's around you. So it's not this year. It feels more like next year, just FYI. But we're going to pull a card for you, whatever your angel advice is. They're telling me that these need to be for you. So let's see what we got here. All right, exercise to increase your energy. So in your manifesting abilities. So I feel like your energy feels a little bit sluggish, like we're a little bit down. Really get in this active spirit because it's going to pump your energy up. I think you're going to need it. You also got this power of prayer card. So really setting your intention. If you want to have a child, you can have a child, but you really have to set that intention out there. And last one, releasing jealousy. So this may not be that you're necessarily jealous of other people, but to me, it feels like there's a comparison. Like, why isn't this happening for me, but it's happening to other people? Release that. Just know that it wasn't the right time yet. There's something there where it wasn't the right time. You weren't ready. Your body's not ready. So get your body in order as far as the energy that it's going to take, and really, really release all of that because it's coming for you, my dear. Bev. Do you have a new guide? I don't feel like they're there yet. I feel like they're coming. Okay, there's a new female guide coming for you because you've just let go of something, and it has something to do with your self-expression. So, like, we've let go of this feeling of not being able to express ourselves, and there's a new guide coming forward for the next challenge for you. Jennifer, do I have a guide? What is their name? Jennifer, I'm going to pull a card for you because you said you needed some guidance while I'm sitting here trying to tap in and get their name. First thing that keeps coming to mind is a William, and it makes me feel like there's a family connection. It may even go pretty far back, okay? So really look at that. What lesson is it connected to? Feels like you have a hard time letting go of things, and it also makes me feel like we hold on to things for longer than what we need, and almost what they're saying, it makes me feel like you settle for things less than what you deserve. So that's a huge lesson in why he would be here. I love this. Here's your card, honey. Do the work, okay? We're always a work in progress, and sometimes we feel like we've ran the marathon and we're still not where we want to be. Keep working, keep going forward. Find that re-energized energy in you because we need to kind of find that and get you pumped up. Do the work. You have a lot of work this year. I feel like you're getting a lot thrown at you this year, but you will come out and be better for it. So really tap into your buddy William and ask him for help, okay? Sherry, when will you find love? Okay, a couple things here. I'm going to pull a card for you. When are you going to find love? Feels like end of this year. I feel like you've had some that you thought were going to work out and they just really didn't. They really weren't, almost like they weren't what they said that they were. Almost like they were too good to be true. Their stories weren't right. But I need you to get feeling better about yourself because, once again, you also make me feel like you're settling for less than what you deserve. So, and I feel like you've got these walls up around you too. So almost like you're not going to let people in unless they hit these certain markers. Really make sure you're allowing it to come in because I see you, I can feel you going, where is it? Where is it? I want it to come. I want it to come. But when the universe opens the door, because it's not exactly what we had asked for, it looks a little bit different. We're not so sure about opening it. So make sure you open that, okay? All right. I love this card for you, my dear. It's the abundance mindset. So abundance isn't just money, right? Abundance is everything that we have. So the more we feel grateful for in our life, the more we attract. And that abundance mindset of I'm doing good. Everything is happening for my highest and greatest good. I haven't found the right person yet because I'm not going to settle for the wrong person, but I'm going to really make my needs known. Write everything down and have that abundance mindset because it feels like end of the year for you, my dear. Shauna would like a reading. Let me see. What do we got for you, Shauna? Words of abundance. So affirmations for you, my dear. Okay. So really focusing on what it is that you want. I feel like your energy is a little bit scattered. Like I don't want to say that you feel lost, but it feels a little bit to me like we're a little bit all over the place. Like you're getting pulled in too many different directions. Really focus in on this words of abundance and affirming to yourself that you are a powerful, positive creator in your own life. I affirm that to myself every single day, not because I don't know it, but because I need a reminder. I'm human like everybody else. Really do this and really pull your energy back to center. And they're telling me with work, you've got to learn how to say no, my dear. That's huge. Huge. Jen would like a card. Jen, what do I got for you? Thanks for tuning in, my friend. I love that you listen every week. What do we got for you today? Gratitude list. I love this, Jen, and I love that this card is for you because I know you saw it yesterday on my Facebook where I posted my own gratitude list. Start working on that. I know that you think it in your head when you're not like super busy all over the place being super mom and super employee and super wife and kind of have your hands full. Focus on your gratitude list, what you're grateful for, because that's what's going to help you attract more, okay? Get your energy back to center this week too, because you're feeling like you're being pulled everywhere. Jennifer Smith. Let's give you a card. All right. You got the words of abundance too. This is funny. It happened last week too, where we're getting people with similar cards. You guys all must be tuning in because you know that you need it tonight and we're all kind of gathered together. So Jennifer, words of abundance, really focusing on how you see yourself. That's key. Really focusing on your own self-love, clearing out your heart chakra. You have some stuff that's sitting in there, not even just from a past relationship, but some stuff feels like from childhood. Let some of that stuff go. I know it's not like flicking on a light switch, right? It takes time to really let that go, but really, really looking in here and letting it go and being okay with it and finding that love. So as we get this card, this words of abundance card, I want you to affirm to yourself that you are lovable and that you love yourself. That's huge. So if you can't love yourself, we can't send out love where it needs to go. Let me see who is next. All right, Mona, when will I find love? When will you find love? All right. It's coming soon for you, Mona. It really feels like we're coming soon. Put yourself out there. I'm going to pull you a card, but it feels like it's coming around summertime for you. And it feels like you're the type of person who is in love with being in love. Like when your heart goes, you fall completely in. I love that. So focus on your priorities. If love is a priority for you, having a committed relationship, a commitment from someone else to you, really focus on that. Put that intention out there. That full moon is going to be good for you, Mona. I like that. Let's see. Audrey, a guide's name for you, Audrey. Okay. Audrey, you have a lot of people around you. It's funny. There's, some of these are family members, like actual just spirits who are around you, but some are also spirit guides. Stephen is a name that's popping out to me loud and clear. Tap into Stephen because I think that he's the one who's around you quite a bit. Let me see. Leslie. Let's get you a card. Sorry, guys, I got to keep scrolling over to my phone here to see what we have going on. Jen Kruger. Thank you for watching, honey. I appreciate all the shares that you do. Jen, let's give you a card. Okay, I know you know what this means. I just saw you this week. Obstacles and blocks are being lifted. We talked about that. So know that you are you're trudging through it right now. We kind of talked about that on Sunday. You're trudging through this, but things are being lifted. So really tap into your guides, really allow them to come in, but things are clearing. So by April, I know you're going to feel better, but you're kind of trudging through it right now. I'm going to pull one more. Denise, I'm going to pull you last one before we have to wrap up because it is your birthday tomorrow and my birthday is coming up soon. So let's pull a card for you before we wrap up here. Oh, you get two. They're flying out at me. So no more complaining is the first one. So we all can catch ourselves doing that sometimes. We just aren't always in the gratitude mindset, and have courage to ask for help and accept that help. So if you're finding yourself not happy with your current situation, don't complain about it. Change it. You can change it at any time. But also ask for help, and don't be afraid to ask for that help, whether it's from your spirit guides or people around you. Okay. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. If you guys have any questions, I love hearing from you. We can answer them live on the show. My contact information is below. If you're also looking for a reading, you can find me there as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Bye.